Hello, and welcome everybody to episode 7 of Tennessee 2's Disc Golf Podcast. We appreciate you guys for tuning in, listening, watching, vibing out. My name is Ethan Jenkins, and my co host here is.
Daniel Bacon. How's it going, everybody?
All right, so the news is out. We didn't do our podcast yesterday. We decided to wait a day. That way we could get the Catrina news out fast enough for everybody. Um, we she just said that she was going to be announcing on Wednesday. We usually do our podcast on Tuesday, but here we are. It's Wednesday night. We don't have a super long episode tonight for you guys, but it's going to be a little info packed. So
Yeah,
go
a
ahead
lot
and
of
get
stuff going
started.
on. Yeah, we got a few things to cover today. So for roll call, we're going to talk about a few of the signings that happened over the course of the last couple of weeks. We're going to recap what has happened in our most recent tournament together. We're going to preview my tournament coming up this Saturday, and then we will even kind of hint at another tournament we guys will be doing together up in February. And then we're going to talk about a couple other things like the All-Star event that's coming up just in a couple of weeks. We're going to review everything that's been announced relating to it, including the teams and the formats and the events. And then we might have a couple other things laid out there. We won't say too much just in case we don't have a time, but we're just going to give it a go and see where it goes.
Yep, that is 100% all right with me. All right. So, in case you haven't heard yet, Catrina Allen has signed with DGA, the original disc golf company.
Discgolf.com, baby.
Yep, discgolf.com. So she joins Andrew Marweed in the signings for DGA this offseason. Um, I really like it. She's through DGA before. Her very first sponsor was DGA. Um, she is very comfortable with those discs, and she said that she will not need a lot of time to be ready to compete at a very high level. So that's exciting. I mean, uh, she's also got two discs out. One is a prototype driver, fairway driver, and we don't know what it is yet, but it is going to be a signature disc. And then she also has the Rift, correct?
I believe so. I'd have to double
Yep.
check, but I believe so.
So, yep, she's got a signature Rift as well. So she's got two signature discs right now that you can buy on DGA. Discgolf.com/Catrina. There you go. Free shout out.
Shameless plug there.
Yeah.
Not even for us, but there you have it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so first thoughts. Number one is a little bit of a surprise. I was really hoping for Infinite, but in terms of any company that it's not Infinite, this one's the least surprising to me. People had been calling for it for a couple of weeks, and again, it's a good homecoming feel. We've had a few good homecomings this year, so not too surprised there. In terms of the bad feels of the deal for me, I don't. We kind of talked about how DGA is still kind of a little bit behind in terms of bringing themselves up in the game of disc golf currently in terms of technology and where they're moving. Obviously, they're still a little bit locked by being produced by another company who's going to continue to produce their company before DGA. So that's a little bit of a downfall. However, the news that the first thing they did was give her a prototype driver is super exciting because
That
it
is
means
awesome.
DGA is producing and they're beginning the innovation wheels, which is what, if you guys remember way back in the second episode or so, we had talked about. We hoped that Andrew Marweed coming in would get those innovation wheels turning for them and get get that company rolling in the right direction again and get them off of just making baskets and back up to the forefront of the discs as well. So super exciting. Um, I think in terms of performance, she'll do just fine with DGA. I don't think she's going to lose anything from Prodigy moving to DGA. Um, but other than that, yeah, that's pretty much how I feel about it right now.
Right. Yeah, I agree. Um, it's kind of like like you said, it's not surprising. Um, but I just hope that she got paid what she's worth. You know what I mean? Like I do
Yeah,
hope that she got paid. It is a little strange. It's not quite the same, but they was talking like she won't go Discraft because of Paige being there, but it's basically, it's kind of like Conrad going to MVP and Heimberg going to Axiom. It's that style.
yeah, exactly. Chat's asking what's the best driver at DGA at the moment. I don't know what the best driver is because I don't throw a lot of them, but their flagship driver right now is got to be the Hypercane for sure.
Yep.
That's the most recently developed one, and that's the one that most people are bagging on their teams.
Yeah.
So
Marweed has 5 in his bag. So,
yeah,
uh,
Marweed's using that Hypercane a lot like Ricky used the Destroyer, where
Destroyer.
he's
Right.
basically just got 5 or 6 of them, and all of them are going to be a slightly different stability.
Yep. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, you've got the Hypercane, and for roller
There,
shots, a lot of people are using the Sail. Um, but I don't know a
yeah,
whole lot
the
about the lineup between that.
Yeah, no, the Hypercane's the flagship. That's what most
Hmm.
people are bagging. They've got a couple other like they have a couple of fairway drivers that people really like, but I would say the Rift as a mid range is what
Yeah, it's a very
is
popular
kind of
disc.
that's what they're known for right now, I
Yeah,
would say. But the Hypercane is the driver for sure,
yeah.
the driver to have.
And it was smart putting Catrina on the Rift on your popular disc. Um,
Yeah, especially since Andrew did not take the Rift
right.
because he's not even bagging one.
Yeah. Which it surprised me a little bit, but it's just,
He's so forehand dominant. You're gonna
yeah.
you're gonna see him roll a lot
He's using
like
the
Nate and Big
squalls
Germ.
a lot too. Yeah.
Yeah, which is a wide rimmed for a mid range. It's a lot more
Yeah.
like the Cax, where it's like that hybrid. It's
Yeah.
halfway
Maybe I
between a
should
mid
look
range and
into
a
that.
driver. Um, and so it's kind of like that same concept. Nate Sexton talked about in some practice rounds earlier this year that he really didn't bag anything. He took the Mako 3 out of his bag this year, and he basically, he didn't throw anything
He had a few
besides
rocks, and he used rocks
he
and
didn't u-
Firebird.
he didn't throw them. He threw his dart this year.
Oh, that's true.
So he pretty much completely omitted the mid ranges from his bag completely for 2021. And I remember him talking about it a couple times. He said there were a couple of tournaments he said that his Mako's in the car for, but he didn't use them. And the same thing. Remember we had talked about a couple weeks ago with Coling and the mortar, how he has a signature mortar,
Right.
and he took that out of his bag this last year as well. So no surprise to see Marweed not throwing a lot of mid ranges, being forehand dominant.
Wonder what
Um,
Coling's gonna go with now. I mean, he should be able to change it. You would think. Um, I mean, Bimo did.
yeah,
So it wasn't until he made 9-time world champion that he went on the ABR. So, I mean, I don't, which is just crazy to think of 12-time. Anyways, that may be different because it's a different stamp. It's like,
right.
but still, I hope Germ is, because if you're not throwing it, it's got to be harder to sell.
Oh
It's,
yeah, absolutely.
and
But I
I've
mean,
threw a mortar, and it's
it's
very pig like.
yeah. I mean, it's still like on the website on Innovo's website. It still shows that it's in his bag, but
Right.
you know,
And maybe it's there. It just never gets
yeah.
pulled
And
out.
I'm sure Nate Sexton's in the bag that's listed on Innova's website still shows the Mako, but he's basically said he's taken it out. So
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I I mean, I would be down to see a big germ, maybe RX3 though. It'd be cool.
Agree. That's his.
That's his
I mean, he
go-to.
throws it. Yeah, he throws it
He throws it
all the
better than
time.
anybody else.
Yeah, I mean, it works for him.
Yep.
So,
He found what
but,
worked.
but
But
anyways, DGA came out and basically in one of their interviews said that they were honored to have a two-time and reigning world champion back, um, and that they're looking to continue to make moves. Um, so it's a good look for them. Should be pretty exciting to see if they can continue to build this team even a little bit more from what we're seeing right now.
I think it helps them a lot. This signing, like, could be huge for them in the growth and selling of their discs. I really do think so. If Catrina bags mostly DGA, because she does have that ability to bag Discraft, you know, and especially the first year. I don't know how many years that she got, but um, the first year I would like to see a lot, mainly DGA, because what
Yeah,
does it say about DGA if she's bagging 50-50, you
I
know?
don't know. There's a little bit of like a backwards compatibility issue there.
Yeah.
But it's not that common too, because you saw what Andrew had one Discraft bag in his bag, one or
Yeah,
two.
just the zone. That was it.
So, and it's the same thing like when you saw Discmania being produced by Innova, most of the players had one or two Innovas, but that was about it. Whereas on the other side, it's more common for me personally looking at it to see the main manufacturer team using sub branches than it is for the sub branch to use predominantly main
Right.
manufacturer. So
Right.
Innova players bagged Discmania all the time.
Yeah. The
But
PDs, the P2s, yeah.
the
The
MDs.
CD2s, yeah, CD3s, yeah.
So it's more common to see the main branch use sub branches than it is that backwards compatibility. It's a lot less common there. You usually only see one or two discs, but
Right. I agree.
so I'm
I
not too
hope,
worried about it.
yeah.
I think it'll be a predominant DGA bag for her
Yeah.
for sure.
And I bet she can crush a sale. I really do. I feel like she could crush a sale and make it work.
Uh,
But
I have no doubt that she could crush a few of those discs.
you're right. She could probably crush anything. Uh, do you know what she putted with? I don't know Prodigy putters that well. Uh,
I
so I don't know
I know
what.
very little.
Yeah,
Like we said, we just talked about. I mean, I know a little bit about some of their putters that the MPO uses. I don't know a lot of what FPO were using for their stuff. We just talked about a few minutes ago before we started that after watching the video of Chris Dickerson using those challengers, the OS challengers, it didn't feel right watching it because it was so different from what he was using
yeah,
at Prodigy. So who knows? It's
yeah.
possible she could go a completely different route like Chris did, where she's changing her form up a little bit. Who knows?
Which and that's part of I mean, just
Not
imagine her getting out there with a blowfly. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like that would be.
Listen,
Hey, I'd be down.
not not
That would be
everybody can
awesome.
be Paul. Not everybody can be Paul Macbeth, where the first thing you do when you go to a new company is design a new putter.
Yeah,
Right?
right. Yeah, it
That's a
took
pretty tough
Eagle. It
ask.
took Eagle a while. So
Um,
and Sexton a while too. But yeah. Um. So, you good to move on from that? I believe
yeah,
we'll
let's
go
head
ahead
on to a
and
couple more signings.
yeah. So Ben Calloway got signed to the elite team. Got boosted up this season for the
Got the big
2022 season.
promotion.
Yeah, that's a good promotion. Um, he gets a disc. That's huge.
Yeah,
Which is the Undertaker that he has chosen, and that's a great signing. Um, he didn't. He finished well. He didn't get any like major wins or elite series wins. Um, he may have been on the podium a couple times, but he did really well in the small local scenes and stuff like that. A tiers, he really tore up this year. Um, but they decided to go ahead and boost him on up to the elite team, and uh, you know, best of luck. I
Yeah.
think he'll do well. A lot of people really like how professional he looks, so he's gained a pretty good following pretty quickly.
Yeah, I mean, he was up in the 30% range for top 10 finishes this year, so he definitely, was putting himself in contention a little bit more consistently. The only problem that I have with Ben is that when he's bad, he looks real bad.
Right.
So he needs to clean up the weekly performances, even though he has some really nice standouts like Music City Open,
Yeah.
MVP Open, Portland Open. Those are all great finishes, but he needs to step it up in places like the Worlds where he finished 101. So
Yeah.
he's got to clean up the week in and week out consistency. But if he can do that, then he could be a contender.
Right. For sure. And also we have Cynthia Ricciardi, um, leaving Dynamic Discs and going and getting signed by Discmania, which is also where her boyfriend Kyle Klein is, and they've already got their touring rig, so that is very good. Um, I was surprised to see that she got the van and not Kyle. It works. It works out good for them, And I would say that they probably just paid Kyle pretty well, moving him up to the Sky team. Um, so
Yeah,
it
absolutely.
probably works out well that they're like, "Hey, here you go. Here's a van." You know what I mean? And it covers both of them. So it's like
Right.
it smart business. UC's not going to do anything that's dumb. So
No.
it's just it makes sense, I guess. But best of luck to
Yeah.
her as well. And we also have Linus Carlson getting signed with Latitude 64.
Yeah, out on the international circuit, out in the Euros, Linus came in. Um, I mean, it's not a super huge move, but definitely an admirable addition for Latitude 64. As we'll talk about it a little bit more later. But Euros are returning to the U.S. circuit again this year, so we're all pretty excited about that. But
Yes.
it helps. I mean, he's out there rated 1035, which means he's good enough to be in condition at any
Any
tournament
of them.
this year.
Yep. I mean, we might as well go ahead and go into that. Welcoming the Euros back in. It was such a good segue, you know? Um, let's just go ahead and pop right into that. Uh, so I don't know too much about the MPO side. I'm sure that Silver is going to come with Kristen. I'm sure. I would assume Albert Tom is going to be back. Bazooka Tom. Uh, that would be awesome. He is electrifying to watch. Uh, he. Let's see here. Linus will probably be back. Uh,
Let me head over to Old Two World real quick. They actually posted, if I remember correctly, a list of European players that are registered for
oh, Las Vegas.
LVC. Yeah.
Nice.
So,
I know Evelina, Hannah, and Kristen are all signed up.
yep. Okay. So on the MPO side, you've got Martin Handel, Chris Oslins, Cam Zanini, um, Thomas Gilbert, obviously, no problem with him. I'll skip a couple of these guys here. Keep it with the 1,000 and above rateds right now. Silver Lat, of course.
Yeah.
Albert Tam, Seppo, of
Nice.
course, Blair, Askerson,
What
Nuts
about
Holland.
what about Vino?
I don't see Vino on this list, but that doesn't mean he's not going to be there this year. Just means he might not have
Made LVC.
registered for LVC.
Right.
Yeah, so LVC ended up being a really, really tight registration this year.
Yeah.
And I think the first two or three, including Waco and what was it, Portland
I don't know.
or Ledgestone also.
I thought it was
Uh,
I thought it was DDO to be honest. But yeah.
but yeah, the first two or three booked up real real quick, and we saw a lot of players get left off that
Yeah,
list. We know Scott Stokely's not registered. He's
20th
gonna
on the
miss a
wait
couple of
list.
tournaments. Yeah, so which is good and bad.
Yeah,
It means that number one, we're getting the Euros back, and we know that the European circuit has 3 or 4 players that are going to be in contention at a ton of these tournaments.
oh for
Jackie
sure.
Chan is going to be coming in this year. He's going to be 1030 rated starting the year off, along with Linus, who's going to be the highest rated European coming in on the tour this year
That's sweet.
for LVC.
Yeah, that's sweet.
But you can never count out players like Seppo as well.
Yeah,
Seppo's had great performances
he
in and out of
has.
the States.
He has for sure. Um, yeah, I'm a pretty big fan of Silver. I'm
Yeah,
I'm
he's fun to watch.
I'm forehand dominant, and Silver has probably got the fastest arm speed for a forehand out of any player that I've ever seen. Uh, he can snap it just from his elbow and wrist on a standstill. He can snap a disc over, I would say over 80. I'm not even joking.
Yeah,
That's just,
and you think
it's
about
crazy.
that is that discs do not handle torque well,
Mm-mm.
forehand torque that well. So to be able to get enough spin on it to handle that kind of torque as well is just ridiculous.
Yeah. So I
There's
really
a
enjoy it.
talent there.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. And all they've been doing, Silver has been running clinics like crazy. Him and Kristen have been running so many clinics and getting the Estonian disc golf into just great things. And your Discord has frozen up.
But yeah, yours froze up for me too.
Okay, that was weird. Discord was like,
Am I
no,
back?
no, no. Yep, you're back. You're back.
Shout out to Discord for the most part on what are we 7 episodes in now.
Yep.
They've been seamless, great, 10 times better than Skype or anything else that we considered using. I mean, this is 7 episodes in, the first hiccup we've really had.
Yeah.
Shout out to Discord.
I can't complain on that. And it was only for literally maybe 3 to 5 seconds.
Yeah, and for all we know, it wasn't even Discord. It was one of our internets that
Yeah,
just
it could have been.
hitched.
Yeah,
So
very well. Very well could have been. All right, so you want to go ahead and go into the All Star?
before we get to All Stars, why don't we talk about one player left that hasn't signed yet?
Oh, the whole Nico thing.
Nicola Castro. And we'll kind of use him as a segue into the All Stars because he's actually part of the player list for All Stars this year, the official list of attendees.
Right.
Um, and
He,
we
he,
don't have a name yet.
yeah, he dropped out last year. Remember?
I actually watched All Stars last year. So
Yeah.
I watched some post production of it, but I was not keeping up with it until Waco. I
Right.
didn't even watch LVC,
Yeah. He said
but
that he had a small injury and then went out and dominated Waco. But yeah, I hopefully he plays this time, and you know, I enjoy watching Nico on post coverage. I really do. But yeah, we all know where that goes.
well, where do you think he's going? I'll let you go first
So
on this one.
with Nico, he's been with Westside, he's been with Gateway, he's been with Prodigy, right? And
Yep.
he's been with and he's toured with people from Discmania. I don't know who wants to take him on. Like if if it was me, you know, like oh, he was also with Daredevil Discs, by the way. Like that was earlier on, but he was also sponsored by Daredevil. I would not put it past any of the smaller companies to pick him up. Maybe like a Thought Space. Um he
Yep.
likes to wear loud clothes and different stuff. And Thought Space is right up that alley. Like they could fix him up. Uh, so I think that would be a really cool place for him to go. Is Thought Space. He'd still get to throw an open bag, except for the slots that they fill. Um, maybe like a streamline. I could see. Um,
Yeah, but
something like
even
that. I don't think he
even the
gets
streamline,
a
it's
big
still
contract.
no. So I've got a warm take. I won't call it a hot take.
A
It's a
warm
warm
take.
take.
Okay.
I think Nico's going to go into this season unsponsored.
I could see
I
that.
think he is going to walk into this season and throw a mixed bag and not have any ties and just go out and play. Um, which, you know, I of all the players that could go out there and do it professionally and successfully, I think Nico's probably the one that could handle it um,
Yeah.
pretty easily. I don't know what other kinds of like side deals that he has outside of his disc sponsorships.
Right.
Um, but
He had a
yeah, and
branded
he's
he had a branded Bills sponsorship at one time, which was a hat sponsor.
right.
But I I don't think that was in play last season.
Yeah.
Um,
So
a lot of people were
um,
saying that you know they still see Nico out playing, and
uh huh.
he's still using an entire West Side bag.
Yeah.
Like
So
they're like, does
yeah.
he even know that he's not on the team anymore? Like, you know,
Is he aware of this
right.
breakup? Has
And
this just
that's the
been
reason that they think that it's all one sided as well. They
has
don't
this
think that
been
it
a
was mutual.
publicity stunt and he's gonna get back out there and he's still gonna be wearing West Side or what's it?
Imagine, oh my
Could
god,
you
imagine.
imagine? April
Oh,
Fools,
oh
what's
my
up?
god, that would be so good. He just walk out there
um,
with a West Side jacket on, you know what I mean?
right.
And then rip it off, and it'd be something else under it. It's like April
That would
Fools, guys, dude. That would
that
be,
would be
oh my god, that would go viral.
that would be hilarious. But no, I don't think it's gonna happen. He's been posting a lot of playing and stuff that he's been doing this off season on Instagram. He hasn't been quiet about playing, and
Still
he'd
throwing
he'd made
West
a
Side.
couple of he'd made a couple of posts where he talked about still doing it for the love of the game, and it kind of is just as we get closer. You talk about we're only 2.5, 3 weeks now from the All Stars that he is slated to officially appear at,
Yep.
according to DGPT. So, I think it's very possible he just ends up out there with a mixed bag and runs a season like that.
Yeah.
You know,
I
and I think I don't know if it's Westside who really felt like this, or maybe he feels like he's got something to prove this year, or what. But from a lot of the Instagram stuff that I've been seeing, I can't nail down a particular company that he's using right now.
yeah.
I know that there's definitely some old West Side that's still in there, and but there's a lot of discs that were in there that looked old and beat up and used. There's nothing like his
Shiny.
bag didn't
Yeah.
look fresh.
No. Uh, he's. I could see Innova picking him up too. I really could, especially if they can get him for a deal. Uh, I really do. I could see it. I mean, he what? He's got a major win, right?
Yeah,
Nico,
he
USDGC,
he yeah, back in
two
2009, I
thousand
believe.
nine. Yep, it was. Yep, you're right. 2009. Yep,
Yeah, we talked about that last week.
yep, that's right. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe
But anyways, yeah, we'll use that here real quick to segment on over into the All Star event that is going to be taking place up here in a few weeks. We've got the participants for both MPO and FPO um, nailed down. Obviously, there could be some late injuries or late withdrawals from this, but this is people who have agreed to take part in the event as of right now. We'll start with the FPO side. Um, you've got team captains Paige Pierce and Katrina Allen
yep.
as your highest seeds. And then you've got Missy Gannon, Sarah Hokum, Haley King, Jessica Weiss, Kona Panis, Lisa. I always butcher this last name.
Vegas.
Yeah, thank you. Heather Young, Owen Scoggins, Dean Carey, and Rebecca Cox, who's playing the alternate. That'll be replacing Kristen Tatar, who is not going to be appearing at the event.
Right. Sad face.
What are your thoughts on the lineup?
It's very good, honestly. I think it's great.
Yeah.
The draft system is going to be very, man, lining up in school, getting picked for basketball or dodgeball, like, do you go in as the lowest seed, being Rebecca Cox, and be like, okay, I know that I'll probably go last, and it's okay, or because
Maybe, but
are they gonna go like that, or is Paige?
I
I can see Paige going to like her friends first. You know what I mean? Whereas Catrina, I feel like she's gonna go with best available.
yeah, and it could be you don't really know what it's going to look like because when you talk about an all-stars draft like this,
Mm-hmm.
you might be looking for a particular set of skills.
Right.
It might not be who's going to be the lowest score at the end of 18 holes. It could be who's got the forehand for hole 18 kind of
Right.
thought process depending on how they're thinking of drafting. And it could just be it could be a little bit of just a who's my best friend
Yeah,
out there?
I could
Who
definitely
do I
see
want to
Paige
play with
doing
more?
that. Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Uh,
Um,
but she's friends with almost everybody. So
yeah. On the MPO side, team captains are Eagle McMahon and Calvin Heinberg. And then in direct order of seeding, you have Adam Hammis, Kyle Klein, Kevin Jones, James Conrad, Chris Dickerson, Drew Gibson, Matt Orm, Nicola Castro, alternates Ezra Aderhold, and alternate Gannon Burr. And they are going to be your alternates replacing Ricky Wysocki and Paul Macbeth. I got to be honest, I was a little fearful after hearing that Ricky and Paul were going to be skipping out on the event, that we were going to see another 3 or 4 names slide off and have a predominantly alternate field. It seems not to be the case. Obviously, we know Ricky is prepping for LVC and trying to be ready for the tournament. So not so crazy in terms of thought process for him and why he's skipping. Paul, I want to say, he probably is skipping based on some stuff he's doing preseason for the Paul Macbeth Foundation.
right.
I know he has a couple more trips he wanted to do this spring, probably before touring season, that he wanted to get out of the way, and it conflicts with the All Stars.
Right. Yep. You know, if you're Eagle, right? Do you pick Kyle Klein immediately? like, like,
I don't.
or do you
I don't
not,
know.
or do
I
you
might
not want a baby Eagle? You know what I mean? Like,
I might pick Kevin Jones just because it's All
yeah,
Stars, and who's going to be willing to throw crazier shots than Kevin Jones and Eagle McMahon?
exactly. I agree 100%. KJ will be out there ready to slay. All right, I
Yeah,
get it.
I mean, I gotta be honest. If we talk about who the odd man out in terms of who could throw down some crazy shots and maybe a little bit of the arm power side, Matt Orm's kind of the odd duck when you really think about.
He can throw a
It's very
mean roller though.
yeah, but rollers aren't going to help you too much out at Memorial.
Yeah. I don't know. He carves them
But
up pretty good.
yeah, but you have to
People
you have
doubt
to
his
remember they
distance
play.
a lot.
You have to remember they play that safari style out there though. I mean, they just throw ridiculous water carries onto random peninsulas. you know so
Yeah.
who knows what the layout looks like for this year. Obviously we don't see the layout yet, but if we're talking about years past, you know that in terms of the field available, he
Yeah.
is the odd duck out. So no shots out there for Matt. You're a great guy, but you are the odd duck out here.
See,
um Go ahead.
Who was 10th? Gannon Burr?
Yeah.
I
No, no.
100%.
Nico.
I thought Nico was 9th.
Nope.
Hmm.
Matt Oram is ninth.
Oh, okay.
So because 11 and 12 are your alternates, which
Got
is
you.
Ezra and Gannon.
Okay. So they're probably not going to get to play, which kind of sucks. I like both of them. Gannon can get out there and smash, and so can Ezra.
Well, why wouldn't they play?
You said they're alternates.
Yeah, they're alternates for Ricky and Paul.
Oh, so technically they are 10th. Gannon is 10th. He slid up then.
No, it's a 12-man field.
Oh. Why did I think it was 10? I don't know. I was really thinking, I
Don't
had
know.
it dead set in my mind that it was 10.
Yeah, so the players will be seated 1 through 6 on each team.
Right. Okay.
So let's go ahead and go into then the format as we're
Mhm.
talking about that right now. I've got it pulled up.
Yeah, go
So
ahead.
the dates for this event are going to be February 11th through the 13th.
It's only
So
two
yeah, 3 weeks, 2.5
two and a
weeks.
half weeks. So from this weekend, 2 weekends away.
Yeah.
Disc golf.
So each division will be divided into 2 teams that compete against each other within the division for the win. Team captains will select players via snake draft. Um, Players will be seated 1 through 6 on each team based on their tour points from the previous year. Players on the winning men's and women's teams will receive cash bonuses. Um, let's start with Sunday, which is the All Star Singles. This is the main event, and then we'll kind of go back into some of the more fun stuff because, as fun as a main event is, it's the singles tournament.
Right.
All stars is fun, but we all know it's the skills competitions we watch for.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. There's going to be seeds that play for corresponding opponents. Stroke play with the lowest total score wins. Each winner will receive 1 point for their team. So
There is a very high chance that Matty O and Nico have to go against each other. Oh man, yes. Hype me up. Like oh yeah. Can you
bro,
that excites me because they're right next to each other, correct?
yeah, they're 9-10.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, so look,
I'm in
that's
for
gonna
it. I
be
hope that Nico stays in. I really do.
yeah. I mean, I'm sure they will. Again, these are not players who are just the next in line. These are players who have confirmed
Finalized.
attendance.
Correct.
Yeah, they have confirmed attendance for the event. So unless something drastic happens, everybody we named off should be there. Anyways, moving on. Saturday is going to be the doubles day. I'm pretty excited for the doubles day. It sounds pretty exciting. Captains are going to select 3 doubles pairs from their team. Captains seed their doubles pairs from 1 to 3, so they're going to self seed their own pairs.
Okay,
Interesting.
that is cool.
Doubles pairs play the pair on the opposing team with the corresponding seed. So again, you could see some
Yeah.
interesting seeding because
Mm-hmm.
the captains are going to choose the seeds to get specific matchups. You don't really know
Yep.
exactly what we're going to see, so there's going to be a little bit of mind games going on there. That'll be interesting to watch.
I'm
Um,
so intrigued at how Calvin and Eagle are gonna play this. Like that
oh yeah,
honestly, that's exciting to me.
oh
But
yeah.
not quite as exciting as Paul and Ricky, I feel like would have been. But I feel like there's gonna be a little bit more
I don't know. I think maybe Ricky, not so much Paul.
he would have been so competitive, I guess.
Yeah,
But
Paul is either going to have two identities at an event like this. He's either going to have no chill and he's going to play everything to win, or he's going to take the entire thing like a big joke.
right. Which I feel like that's
And
probably the way he would do it. But
yeah, I think we're going to get a little bit of both of those out of both Calvin and Eagle.
yeah,
We're
I
going to get a
agree.
little bit of both. where it's going to be a big joke, but there's going to be some competition still.
Yeah.
So I kind of like it. Um, doubles teams will play best disc stroke play, lowest total score wins. And then each winning team, winning pair will receive 1 point.
Nice.
So yeah, that'll be good to watch. I was kind of hoping there'd be a mixed doubles event for this, but it doesn't look like it's gonna happen.
Right.
It would have been cool, is all I can say.
Yeah.
Uh, skills competition that's gonna be on Friday. Captains assign players to each skill competition, 2 players per skill. The skills are going to be putting, shot shaping accuracy, and accurate distance competitions. So yeah, I mean it's pretty straightforward.
I'm interested to see the shot shaping though.
Yeah,
Like,
shot shaping will be interesting. I don't know. I still wish there was going to be like an ace race or something though.
yeah, because I was listening to a podcast where Juliana Korver was on,
Hmm.
and she used to do a competition called Discathon, and it sounds like the shot shaping one. You gotta throw around, through, over objects, but it's an athlon. So you go, you throw your disc around a big tree, and you try to run and chase it down. Throw around the next one. It's like a speed round, but you've got
Yeah,
obstacles. Yeah, I
right.
was like, that intrigues
It'd
me.
be it's kind of
You
like
know,
the point guard competition in the NBA All
right?
Stars,
Yeah,
where
yeah.
you've
Dribbling
got specific
around, dribbling
tasks,
around. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
but there's an obstacle course coming. Yeah, that
yeah.
would be interesting.
I would like to see that.
Um,
I was like, that's cool.
I'm really interested to see what they're gonna do with putting to make it interesting.
Yeah,
It's a rough one. That's a tough one to make interesting. We get to watch a lot of really cool things happen with like the Jomez Pro putting game, but even the players in the putting game say, "We're not really putting. This is trick shots."
right.
So how are they going to make depending on how they format the putting skills competition could really make or break a particular event.
Yeah,
And
and
accurate distance is accurate distance. I love watching those guys bomb. It's,
yeah. I
there's there's
I
there's not much to say about that.
I think the only reason they do an accurate distance instead of just distance is that way they can film it. Honestly, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Like, I just feel like Eagles kind of got that locked in. I mean, who else can throw over 700? Accurately. Uh, I
I
Maybe he has a bad day. If maybe he has a
yeah,
bad day. I think
you
Calvin
don't know
can
when you
reach 580 probably.
but that's the thing. You add accurate into that and you start having to think, okay, well, we know Eagle's going to be the longest thrower there and that's not going to be a question, but who's going to have the longest throw that lands in the designated landing zone? Because that's the same thing with long drive in golf.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
there's
from what
there
I was told is that it's like the width of a football field is the
right.
landing zone. So,
Yeah, width of a football field gets really hard when you start talking about 700, 800 foot
I
turnovers.
mean, I guess but it's got to be a lot easier than trying to hit a bullseye. It's
Oh yeah, for
it's
sure.
just like think about Eagle on the match play, and he just
Yeah, but
matched
yeah,
it
I
on
mean,
that
you'd
basket.
imagine
But
they'll
he
probably
didn't
get
do
what
it
like
again.
yeah, you'd imagine they'll probably do something like what 5 throws each. I would
Probably.
imagine.
And wonder if they
Um,
can use their discs or if they all have to use the same disc because that will be something different as well. Like, um, on like the distance competitions and stuff like that, they all use katanas, strikes, destroyers. So wonder if they have to do that too because that
um,
that'll make it a little different.
yeah, I mean, I would imagine you'd talk about maybe adding a speed cap or something in there, but
Yeah,
it's
because
hard, especially with the way the contracts are laid out now.
Yeah.
You can't go out there and throw a destroyer
Yeah.
if you're discraft or
And of
So
course,
it
they did
depends.
last year at the distance competitions,
Yeah,
but
but
you know, I guess they probably had to get that approved and all that stuff. I'm not sure
yeah,
how all that
I'd
goes.
imagine so. The truth of the matter is, I'm sure none of these companies really care. Just
Probably not, but
get
imagine, I'm
50
sure.
of the same unstamped disc out there and into everybody's hand.
Yep.
But here's the thing too, is like when you talk about what they can throw with their own discs versus what they throw with that disc, it kind of, for me, it takes away from it because, if he gets out there and, oh yeah, well, a Cloudbreaker and a Destroyer are the same flight numbers and the same basic design,
But
that
completely
doesn't that
fly
doesn't mean
different.
they, and
Yeah.
it doesn't mean that they, feel the same in the hand. So, you know, as much as I like the concept of, yeah, they can, really kind of control the testing field out there. If Eagle goes out there and he loses throwing destroyers versus cloudbreakers, then it doesn't really feel like the next person really won because he's
Right.
not throwing a disc he's comfortable with.
Which
So
neither are they unless it's like a Calvin.
exactly.
Yeah, I agree.
So then you have to start thinking, is there unfair advantages built into that? But
Yeah.
who knows?
Yeah, you're right. I think they should be able to use their own discs and have them seasoned to do exactly what they want and get absolute max potential.
If your disc doesn't fly far enough for the distance competition, well, then maybe you should think about changing up your lineup.
Yep, I agree. I
I don't know,
agree.
but yeah, the putting's a big wild card for me. I don't know. I'm interested to see what they're going to do to make it interesting. Otherwise, putting's fun to watch, but putting's fun to watch in a tour when there's something on the line
Yeah,
for those putts.
yeah. I don't know. Maybe they'll come up with something cool. But
Hope so.
how? All right. Another question about um the distance competition. Eagle has to go last, right? Because
Well, as he's
nobody's.
seated, first,
Yeah, but
and
surely he
yeah, he
throws
should.
last.
Well, I mean, he would purely based on seed. He should have the option to go first or last.
Maybe
But being seated first might mean he goes first.
that's what I'm wondering. Like, I would just hate to go up there and put everything I have in it and be 300 feet short of Eagle. You know what I mean? Like, that would just that would be devastating. It would.
I don't think there's too many guys out here who are going to end up that short of Eagle.
All right. So here's my hot take. Then I'm gonna say that no one gets within 100 feet of Eagle.
I have 50 feet and I'd believe you. 100 feet, I
That's
don't
why
know.
it's hot. It's not a warm take. Okay, it's a hot take. 100 feet. 100
All
feet.
right, well, I'm taking the under on you, Bear Bud.
All right.
Over under 100 feet, I'm taking the under all
All right.
day long.
What are we betting? What are we betting? We gotta
Oh,
find
I don't
something.
even know.
We gotta find something good to bet.
We'll come up with terms to bet by next week. How about that?
Okay. All right,
And
that'll work.
we'll set an official line.
99. 99 and over. 99.28. There we go. That's the line.
99.28. No, it's 100. We set the line at 100.
No. You see, it's like in fantasy football, it's 8.5, right? 8.5 yards that he needed to gain. He gained 8, right? It doesn't count. That point 0.5 does matter when you're
Oh yeah,
talking
yeah, yeah.
talking betting lines. So maybe I'll go 99.5.
All right, then 99.5. That way, if it's over 100, if it's under, it's 99. What if they land
That
on
would.
99.5?
Oh my god! If it'd just be a draw. It would just have to be like it's like
I'm
oh
taking
well,
the under. There's
it's not under, but it's not over. So
no. I'm taking the under. I don't care. Somebody. If you had said pure distance competition, mm,
yeah,
accurate distance competition, there is a landing zone. They have to hit it.
I just don't think
And
that. it'll be that hard for Eagle to land in a football field. I just don't. I don't. Like, I feel like he's gonna start way over there, and it's gonna come back around and do the whole thing, and boom, yeah. So like he may not even use the tee pad. He might go this way.
I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, I'm taking the under.
Okay, I wouldn't expect you to take the over, but yeah, I'm perfectly fine with that. 100 feet. I'll just stick to 100. There you go. No 99.28. No 99.5. 100.
It's one. Well, yeah, because
Yeah, I was just kidding about all that. But
99.9 at
yeah, there
the
you go.
very least.
That way, if it's exactly 100, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. But yeah, I think that pretty much wraps it up, right?
Oh no, we got to event recap ourselves.
Oh, do we have to? Okay. So yeah, we played a tournament this past weekend, the Shelbyville Freeze, and emphasis on freeze.
Bro, it was.
It was so
I
cold.
can't even.
It was 12 degrees when we left to go to the tournament. It was 15 when we teed off.
We almost blew up the truck on the freeway because it was so cold.
Yeah, my truck overheated on the way there because I didn't let it warm up. But anyways, after it boiled out a little bit and put a little antifreeze in it, we was good to go. So, and we did make it in time. We wasn't late, so we were chilling.
Oh no,
Yeah,
we had
were
more than
good.
enough time. We had time to check in, grab our sweatshirt, get back to the truck, and warm up for 20 minutes before.
Yeah,
So
yeah, we were good.
we were kosher.
Yeah, and somehow with us teeing off at 15 degrees, the second round was colder.
35 degrees out, and
Yeah,
there was a
it was
nasty wind chill for the second
it
round.
was wind chill for sure.
And neither of us warmed up for that second round. I know we didn't because we didn't have time.
Yeah, we went and ate Subway.
we
But
needed some food, all right?
yeah, we did. But so after the first round, I was sitting at 1 over, which was tied for second, I believe. Yeah, tied for second, and I did make lead card going into second round. Pre-built or sorry, Daniel, you were
I was four over. I was one under with with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. With 6 holes left, I was in the lead at 1 under, and I hit one really unlucky tree and got the absolute worst shank kick of my life that sent me into 2 absolutely impossible shots in a row. Took a 5 there and then dropped off.
Yeah.
Dropped off the table. There wasn't really much I could do. I mean, I hit the exact line I was trying to. Ghost Branch came in and just slapped my disc about 100 yards to the left of where I was supposed to be, and short too. I kicked backwards and left instead of forwards and left. It was absolutely. But I was in the lead up until that hole, and that hole sent me way backwards.
And I was actually surprised. Nobody in our division finished under. Like for the round, like the number 1 guy was even.
Yeah.
So when we got back on the second round, I was on hole 20 starting off, and you were on hole 17 again, right?
Yeah.
And
so I got to start the second round on the longest 5 holes in a row, completely cold, and I was already tired. And
it was great. But I ended up just shooting the same. Ended up +1 again in the second round. Ended up tying for 8th place, and nothing spectacular, but hopefully get to kind of but my rating is still better. Like my round ratings were still average better than my player rating. So hopefully,
Yeah, the second
that'll help.
round, when we got into the woods, I played phenomenal. The final 11 holes of the course, I played 3 down, and I had to recover from an OB5.
Yeah.
I think that I took
Yeah, I
on
would have.
one of the early holes of the second round. I finished one over, and then I also had 4 legitimate chain outs on these nasty old baskets. That I mean, they were using Mach 2s.
Right.
I'm not even Mach 3s, Mach 2s. Yeah, I mean, I had some complaints about the some of the stuff that was going on with the tournament. Not all the baskets were laid out for the practice rounds on Friday, and they didn't have a caddy book available. So some of the rules were pretty much just hope that you know what you're doing.
Right.
And yeah, some of the holes you had no idea which hole you were going to until the day of the tournament. So there
Yeah.
were,
Usually we was
uh,
standing on the tee pad and like, which basket are we going to?
yeah,
And but
and so I mean, all in all, when you consider what we had to kind of overcome just to even play this tournament and what we had to go on with literally no caddy book and um, everything for a course that I literally played for the very first time on Friday, and it's a very heavily wooded course on 15 of the 13 of the 20 holes
yeah,
that were available to play. I thought we did great, honestly,
yeah,
because that course had some teeth,
it did.
had some serious teeth in a few spots. Um,
That second round, I
and
think I hit first available probably 8 times. But my upshots saved me. Like but if I would have
yeah,
been able to get off of the tee, I would have done great. But it
yep,
was just like my lines weren't there. My form wasn't there. I should have kept my coat on. I
yeah,
played much better with it on, and I thought about trying to go back and get it, but I did.
yeah, and for me too, the first 5 holes, which ended up being all of the longest holes as well. I swear to God, I picked up my putter and it felt like I had an ultimate frisbee in my hand. I felt like an alien disc. I had no idea what I was throwing. And after 5 holes, I settled down really really well.
Right.
Um, but yeah, those 5 holes on the second round took me from having the possibility, if you include the chain outs that literally went through chains, not like kicking out. That's 7 down. So I would have shot 6 down because there was one bogey that was like, wow, you really
Right.
you messed that one up. That wasn't like
Yeah.
a bad tree kick or something.
Yeah.
I really just misplayed that hole. So I mean, I had an opportunity to go 6 down on the second second round,
Right. And that's
and
what ended up winning it was 6 down. He was on my card, and he was putting phenomenal in the woods, like just Drano, everything.
yeah,
When we got out in the field, he was missing some, but he also looked at the scorecard and seen that he was 4 strokes ahead of everybody and freaked out. he,
see, that would be that would relax me
yeah, no,
so much.
well, he had never been in that position ever, you know.
Oh yeah,
So he was just like, I shouldn't have looked. He said, I shouldn't have looked. He said, I don't know what to do. But after he done that, he went up there and crushed a forehand of a drive. Crushed one. It was
yeah,
great. But he was probably 60 feet from the basket and he took a four.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. Three
he,
putts happen.
yeah, no, it was 20-foot layup, 20-foot layup in. That's what he did. Right. And, we was like, nah, just chill. Just chill out. You got it. Like nobody's catching you. We was only 3 holes away, you know,
Right.
and which I shouldn't have said nothing because the guy in second ended up coming up 2 on him. But anyways, congratulations to those of you who have won the Shelbyville placed high or placed well or even played in the Shelbyville Freeze.
Yeah, that was rough. It's gonna be another cold one for me this weekend
Yeah.
coming up.
Yep.
So
How many people are registered for the Knoxville Ice Bowl?
180.
180. Is it a shotgun
Yeah.
start?
It'll be a shotgun start. We've got 2 courses running. So we'll be playing
So it's
one course
5
the first
players
round.
per tee again.
Yep.
Wonder if this is gonna become a norm. I'm starting to see, instead of 72, I'm seeing like quite a bit
For
more.
the C tiers, yes, absolutely. I think B tiers and above, not so much because you'll be required to have those
PDGA numbers.
yeah. Well, and an active membership, not just a number.
Right.
You
True.
will have to be current.
Right.
But yeah, so should be a pretty good weekend coming up here. Our MPO division includes 2 or 3 of our top players in the region. And then we are also going to have Chris Dickerson out here. It's one of his favorite events to come out and warm up his season with. And then on the FBO side, we're also going to have Heather Young and Macy Veladiaz at this
Nice.
tournament. So it should be a really good event for us out here. 2 courses. The second course plays really long but very open. I'll probably take some bad putt bogeys out there, but my goal will be to break even because I should be getting at least 3 birdies out there, and hopefully that'll wipe away 3 bogeys. But I shouldn't have to worry too much about doubles out there because even bad upshots will still, be inside the circle.
Right.
Just because of how open it is. And then on the second course, the wooded course, it's extremely scoreable, very similar to what we saw on the wooded side of Shelbyville. Very short and scoreable. So basically, at that course, I'll just be looking to stay out of trouble and score on the holes that I should be. So hopefully, I can get out of there with a 3-4 down ish.
That'd be good.
Is what I'm looking for. Not as much not as much trouble, I would say. The kicks don't kind of send you into as terrible of areas on this course as they did in Shelbyville.
Right.
So upshots are a little more workable as long as you stay out of the thick rough, the thorns and bushes, which Shelbyville didn't have.
Right.
But yeah, if I can shoot even at Victor Ash, which is basically 18 holes of 3 to 500-foot par threes, that would be 925 rated.
That's good.
So that's what I'll be looking to do.
Right.
Not so worried about what I do in the wooded course.
Right.
So,
try to just do your best. That's all I can say.
Yep.
Do your best. Let us know how it goes next week.
Yeah, absolutely. And then in February, ya boys are going to be playing as the Tennessee 2 squad in the Tennessee State Devils Amateurs. We're pretty excited about that, to go out and represent the podcast and the new brand we're making as a team in a doubles tournament. Pretty
Super
exciting
excited
for us. We'll give you guys more information on that, as we get a little bit closer to it.
What is the date on that? 22nd?
The 26th.
26th.
Saturday the 26th.
Yeah, okay. 26th. So
Yeah,
exactly 1 month from today.
Yeah.
Yep.
So hopefully we will, that one, I'm really hoping that we can get a good practice round in. I'll have to talk to the TD, and I know that it's a private course, but they should have some rounds available for that course, and hopefully we can get out there and maybe film some mic'd up practice rounds for you guys.
Right.
And get that up on YouTube for you guys to enjoy.
Awesome. Yeah. Definitely need to start on that. I'm excited about that one.
Yeah, I'm so much more excited for that than I am for this weekend.
Neither one of us have played that course, but
no,
hopefully we can get out there and do a practice round And
Yeah, and in a best shot doubles format, you at least have a little bit of a saving grace.
the good
You
thing
know,
is I'm dominant forehand, you're dominant backhand. It works out well for us.
Yep.
Um, you know, I like it. I think we've got a good shot. So, yeah.
Yeah, that one's gonna be a ton of fun, and
When it,
that registration actually is not filled up for that one yet, so there still could be some more out there.
yeah, I'm actually surprised
And
it's not
yeah,
filled up all the way yet.
well, yeah, me too.
How many players are there in it so far?
I got 144 listed out of
So,
216.
oh wow, 70 more players, 68. That's
Um, yeah, but 216, so 108 teams total.
what for 2 courses.
Yeah,
Well, I guess you kind of
and
divide
considering
that.
it's
108 teams, but it would be 54 per course. So you get tee times, I'm assuming. I don't know. That's a lot.
no, I'm pretty sure it's a shotgun start.
So are they doing 4 doubles on a hole?
And I don't know.
Because that would be, yeah.
Well, I mean, they could be splitting them up between the two courses too.
That's what I'm counting.
I don't know.
That would be
Like I
36,
said, we'll
36
have more
holes.
details on that one.
Yeah. 36 times
Yeah, no,
4.
it has to be a shotgun. There's no way they could do tee times with 2 rounds.
That would be wild. I don't know. We'll find out about it more. But yeah.
Yeah, they don't even have a caddy book listed for that one yet. So,
Yeah.
but I'm sure we'll get one.
Yeah, within the next 2 weeks, I would say. Yeah. So you got anything else?
Oh, that's it for me.
All right. Well, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. We did hit an hour mark at least. We knew it was gonna be a little bit of a shorter episode. The news is starting to wind down a little bit, and hopefully the season starts to wind up. So
Yeah, and unfortunately, we could have come up with more to talk about, but I got to get going personally. So it's
yeah,
my fault. We're cutting it
that's
short.
okay.
Sorry.
Yeah. Well, episode 4, I'm the one that cut it short. So I think we're even. So, anyways, we do appreciate you guys for tuning in. Thanks for everything. These will be getting on the podcast networks very soon. We will be back hopefully Tuesday, back to the regular schedule. And everybody have a great night and a great rest of your week. Laters.
Peace out.